pleasant Thursday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. A very special morning to you, Richie B and the Up and Go crew. Thank you for joining us, Bridge Nation. Always a pleasure. And a very special morning to Team Untengle. So, you know what happens this time? It's 11 o'clock. And it is now time for us to untangle the trending with producer Lafaine Wiggan. And are you ready, Lafaine?
I'm ready. Good morning, Mama.
Wonderful. Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Wonderful. All right. So as usual, let's hear the story.
All right. So the story that we're untangling this morning, teachers have rejected the government's offer for them to get a guaranteed minimum rate of increase of 20% in basic salary after tax deductions, as well as double-digit increases for trained graduates who make up the bulk of the profession. And the increase is over a 3-year period. Now, the teachers have rejected this. They're saying they don't want it. It's not enough. And the government, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark, needs to go back to the drawing board and come back with a better wage offer. And so many teachers today and tomorrow have outlined that they'll be taking casual leave. So students are impacted, schools are being closed, teachers are not working because of this wage situation.
Okay. So this has been an ongoing negotiation.
It has been.
So how long this has been years?
Right. It's been a couple of years actually.
Right.
So
right.
In the House of Representatives during the budget debate, Minister Clark said that if the money isn't paid this month, it will take several years to do so, starting in 2024. So he's saying that if they don't accept this current wage offer or agreement, then them goose cook basically.
Okay, and he's speaking specifically of the lump sum
right
for the back money,
right,
that the teachers
payment.
were owed,
right.
So of course, opposition spokesman on education and training, Senator Damian Crawford, has very strong views about that statement, and he is calling it government badness and saying that the government is really just bullying the teachers, and it's just a half truth. It's not the whole truth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know.
I feel sorry for the students though.
Yes.
In all of this, because yes, I think like creativity, you can't really quantify teaching.
Yes.
Because you can't really put a value to say, okay, this is what you are worth, or this is how much what you're doing is valued. But I feel sorry for the students who are impacted because of this, because if the teacher said, listen, for 2-3 more weeks, if nothing happens or nothing changes, then we're not teaching, we're not doing our jobs, then what happens?
But that's a very valid point that you made in Lafaine. How do we quantify
exactly
something like that, which really is priceless?
It is.
Because to be a teacher is. But one of the things though, although I agree with what you're saying, is that they're just asking for a livable wage.
Right.
And I'm not quite sure what they're earning now. But since the negotiation has been ongoing, it means that they haven't gotten a raise in a while.
Right.
And cost of living is soaring.
It is. And it's sad because I think Jamaica is one of those countries where the teachers are so poorly paid. A lot of countries in Europe and in Asia, the teachers are valued so much. Like, they see this profession as so important to the economy and nation building that they're paid very well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
yes, and we're not talking about greed.
No.
We're really not talking greed. We're talking about a livable wage. And if you're a teacher and you can't have a livable wage, what does it say for other members of the society?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Because teachers are people who we all look up to.
Definitely. They make all other professions possible, as they always say.
That's right. That's right. But I hear the opposition leader. No, I'm sorry. The
Opposition
opposition
spokesman.
spokesman. It's just that the more things change, the more they remain the
That's
same.
it. That's it.
Because as when we're opposition,
You oppose.
everybody's salary for go up.
And when you're in power, it's a different story.
Exactly. So you kind of, but I hear you, Lafaine, and I understand what you're saying about quantifying something as valuable as that. But the teachers are saying we just want to live.
Yeah, they're suffering, and I agree with them because my mother is a teacher, so I hear a lot of horror stories. You know what I mean? And as I was making the point that you can't quantify what they're doing, but at the same time, you know, what the saying go, them says encouragement sweeten labor.
Yeah.
It's a case where if I'm asked to work under these conditions, you know, with limited resources and all of that, pick me up, fight me out, want beat me up, disrespect me, at least when I'm going home at the end of the month, at least I can look on my slip and say, boy, you know, say at least I can
Yep.
enjoy a certain quality of life, really and truly. So if I need
Absolutely.
little counseling, if I need to go to the doctor, whatever the case may
Exactly.
be, I can afford to do so.
Yes. And back to the students. I mean, the students benefited a lot from benevolent teachers during COVID,
Of course, most definitely.
The teachers bent over backwards, so to speak. I saw some anxious teachers worried about the students
Yeah.
and doing things
Going
to make
above
sure.
and beyond to ensure that they learn.
Yeah, man.
Well, my mother tell me many times how she have to give student lunch money and all these
Yes,
things. Like you have to
man.
be counselor, mother,
Mother.
father, everything to these
Yes.
students when they come to school with all these problems from different socioeconomic backgrounds. So
But as you say, we're not getting paid for that.
yeah,
But it comes with the territory.
yes,
Because teachers are doing this because they want to do it.
right.
They
Should.
But
The
they're-
ones that are doing it for the right reason.
That is exactly. Those are the ones we're talking
Yes.
about. Because make that very clear. But then, in the middle of all of that, them seeing a royal read,
Hmm.
no.
Da da dee.
And I used to cook cornmeal and give my dog. And seeing, not seeing anything.
Exactly.
Not hearing anything.
Exactly. And then if this is not addressed, then it leads to brain drain, as we were talking in the studio before. Because if another country is offering me so much more money to maybe not
right.
even do the amount of work that I'm required to do here, then
Yes.
why wouldn't I take it? It's not because I'm not
Yes.
patriotic or I don't love my country or I don't love my job here, but everybody want to live.
Yep. Which is exactly what one of the teachers, when the teachers were demonstrating and saying that foreign easy if you go no, foreign not hard if you go anymore. I heard them, but behind all of that, I heard a set of people who really want to be at home.
Yes.
Who really want to be
Yes.
doing their job here.
Yes.
And
yes.
who don't want to leave.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's I really hope they work it out as you say, because you said it and you're right. The students are the ones who lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And already they've been set back because of COVID.
Already. So it's even worse. And then if you have a society where the people aren't educated, then we go have
Yeah.
a situation like Haiti or, those countries where everything just goes downhill, unfortunately.
It's just like how them pile on moral pan DJ.
Hmm?
We don't want to pile on this pan the teacher. them.
Exactly.
It's really all of us
All
in
of
this
us.
together, But wow, and then some teachers are yielding because the gap closing in on the
Yes.
teachers who think they should accept
Right.
the wage of
Right. But what I found interesting too is that we always find humor in bad situations. Because when they were protesting outside of Mr. Clark's office, they were singing Prosperity in the Garden, hiding, and then some other teachers were elsewhere saying we want we money, and all of this. So I just like that about us as Jamaicans that even in our pain and even in these kind of circumstances, we find the humor in it,
Yes.
and make light of it, even though it's a serious situation.
True. It's interesting that you just said that because when I was listening to some of the bites from the teachers who were demonstrating, it struck me as to how musical they are too.
Exactly. It's like a whole choir. I was like,
Yes. Yes. We have anybody online?
oh, no.
No.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
So we want to use this opportunity to every now and then invite our listeners
Right.
to call. We're going to have just one because we're
Or
just
send
gonna
a
have time
voice
for
note.
one. And to call in and whichever topic we're discussing,
And share their views.
yes, tell your thoughts on it and just encourage our listeners and ourselves to have some kind of dialogue about what's trending and that kind of thing. But
Definitely.
I guess the question now is where will this rejection leave the negotiation because the teachers are they in class today?
No, they said they will be taking some. Well, I think some of them said that they'll be taking casual leave today and tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what? Because there's always then what.
Right.
So and the longer we solve that issue of then what is the longer the students will suffer.
Right. I think
So-
I think the ball now is in the government's court because since the teachers have rejected the offer, then no, they have to go back and say, okay, all right, let's meet and try again to negotiate something else.
Lafaine, I get how sensitive the whole issue
Yeah.
is, and I get everything. But something is that we have to remember, though, it is difficult for us to watch the kind of fever that goes on around us,
It is.
and no outrage about it, and then the people who actually doing the work are asked to band them belly.
Yes. Yes.
Because we're seeing a lot of people who obviously don't need to ban for them belly.
They are
In
not
fact, for them belly is very big.
unbannable.
On our sweat and tears. But we are the ones who always have to
Suffer.
ban our belly. So you see, if we can see some kind of fair or equitable distribution
Yes.
to the best of the government's ability, or to let us feel that is to the best of your ability.
Right. Like we're all sharing in the pain. We all are struggle and suffer.
Exactly. Then it will be easier to come to some kind of amicable agreement.
Right.
But
Definitely.
if everybody else are do everything where we can do, and people around us who are our leaders are a thief money, and
nothing come out of it.
nothing come out of it, then you have to say, the money where Mr. Mandela thief, probably you could have get it back and put it on top of the little, no, put it on top of the little bit where we are asked for.
Exactly. Yeah, so you're right. When they see these things, they're like, you're saying we're greedy or we're being, inconsiderate or all of that or unreasonable, but you're really not when you think about it.
Yes,
So.
yes, because I mean I am no financial planner, but it seemed clear to me say if you try get the money when Mr. Man take and see how you can spread it even kind of spread it evenly amongst the teacher them.
Everything, they will feel a little better. I think they will feel a little
Don't
better.
you?
Yeah, man, I think they will feel a little better.
Don't it laugh here? So it is now. So let me see. Hold on a little bit. Let me see what his listener has to say. Oh my goodness me. Oh Lord. Oi, that one you long. I agree. You cannot put a value on teachers' worth. They are imparting knowledge into the minds of the future, our children, who are also priceless. True. Very true. Our Jamaica should be ashamed. Not only do they need hazard pay, but legitimate annual cost of living increases. Their jobs are just as important as the prime ministers because they are teaching the future prime ministers, etc. You have to trim from the top, and you should be able to accommodate the teachers. After all, they are one of our most valuable assets.
Facts.
I think most people agree with this,
Facts.
Lafaine.
Yes, definitely.
I think so.
Definitely.
Anyway, so thank you very much
Yes,
for
big up to our teachers.
yes every time. Want to say a very special morning to our guest. And before we even start to mispronounce your name, could you just help us to pronounce it properly?
Morning, morning. Good to
Morning.
see you. Good to hear you. I don't even care about my name right now, you know. I'm just happy to be speaking with Mama Elise right now.
Thank you so very much. Look here, the whole morning we're trying to figure out. We don't want to make no mistake, So help us.
It's all
Help
right.
us.
I've spent my entire life going through all different versions of my name, but for the record, it's Sosiessia.
Sosiessia. What a beautiful
That's it.
name. We would have spoilt it, mispronounced it, and done all kind of damage to it. Sosiessia. Wow,
That's it.
that's beautiful.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so for those listening, Sosiessia is an award-winning screenwriter, director, and film producer. Welcome to the Bridge 99 FM, and welcome to this program, Untengle. So, before we ask you anything else, tell us about yourself before becoming an independent film director, etc., and what inspired you to enter media generally and specifically the technical side of media.
Okay, so I haven't been in media that long. I've gone from business to real estate to law. Just 3 years ago, I started doing media. I've always been a lover of writing and stuff, so I've always been writing my stories and stuff. And my husband, who is also a Kelly, by the way,
Yes, I noticed that.
yes, he bought a new camera and he wanted to test this new camera. So I jokingly said to him, I could write you a script and you could shoot that. And he was like, why not? And so I wrote a very short script and we put it into production. Well, that's my first time ever being on set. I knew nothing about being on set. I don't know anything about his camera. I had zero interest. And so when
Serious?
I went on that production set, I really, really liked it. And I was like,
Yes.
I feel like I could do this. And
Wow.
so from there on, I started writing my scripts and he started shooting them.
So, Sasha, you understand now why it don't make any sense to streamline us in high school and tell us that we're either science students or art students? Because we don't even begin to understand how many things we are until a much later time.
That is so true. That is so true. Film has always been my passion, but in terms of acting, I wanted to be an actress.
Oh, you
And
did?
so, yeah, some years ago, I applied to the New York Film Academy, 23 years to be exact. I applied to the New York Film Academy for the program. I got through, but I could not afford to go to the school. And so I just locked that dream away and said, hey, guess what? You're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to start earning. You're going to have to start living. So leave that behind. But I had no interest in writing and producing films. I had no idea what to do until three
Right.
years ago.
Wow, interesting. All right. So you've been accustomed, obviously, by what you've just said, to dive into new roles or to be brave enough to see, stretch your limits. All right. So let's look at the roles of screenwriter, director, film producer. They may flow easily for you, but take us through their differences and how you approach each of them individually and together.
Okay, so filmmaking is a process. And at the core of filmmaking, we have a script, a story. So the screenwriter is the person who writes the story to translate it to the screen. So we begin with the script. For me, that's what I started out as a screenwriter because I always loved telling stories, but I didn't know how to put it in screenplay format. So I taught myself that all the elements, all the structuring, and everything that needs to go into a screenplay, I taught myself that. And so I began writing screenplays. For me, that's my favorite part of the process. I don't like being on set. I like to be in my quiet zone, my quiet room, just me and my laptop and my characters and my stories. That's my favorite part. Now, once the script is complete, we move it into production. And this is where the work begins. We have to break down the script. We have to know who are the cast members, the locations, the crew members that we're going to have. And that is where the producer comes in. I'm normally the producer on all my films. So once I break down the script, identify crew, identify cast, then we go into production. And that is where the director hat comes in. Because now I have everything that I need to make this film. I now have to direct an entire set. I have to direct the production manager. I have to direct the production designer to say, I want this picture here. I don't want this color here. I have to direct the camera, and I have to direct the actors to say, do this, do it this way, do it that way. And so we could have footage that now goes into post-production so we can have a film.
Okay, so now you have to actually delegate.
Yes.
So this is another cap. Because
this is another, the
yes.
producer cap continues after production, because the producer have to see the film come to life.
Let me ask you this, especially since you told me that in the early days you actually wanted to act. When you write a film or direct a film, during that whole process, do you ever think of casting? Do you ever think of a particular person that you have in mind when you're writing that you would like to be a member of the cast or to play that role?
Most times. My most recent films, yes. But when I just started out, no. But being more on set and being aware of who is available, who are the actors we now have in Jamaica, when I sit down to write, sometimes I have this person in my mind to say, yes, this person would do this role properly.
Right. And although you have it in mind, do you actually employ somebody who does casting in spite of the fact that you have somebody in mind?
I've never employed a casting agent. I do all my casting myself.
I wondered because, why I asked is that if you are so involved, you would have a kind of energy that you want to see take this and bring it to life.
Definitely. So I trust myself to make the right decisions, because the idea starts up here, and once that little idea starts, it's like I can tell who's going to be absolutely amazing in this role.
Absolutely,
so for
I
me,
get that.
Casting is critical.
But the more people you know, though, Sosiessia, is the more people that you can have in mind. So,
that is so true. So if you don't know me, come and get to know me, guys, so I can have
right, it would make sense for those who want to be a part of your film to get to know you. So say I'm the mad one, or I'm the cool guy, or whatever. I can understand that. All right, fine. So you also, let's break a bit from that. You also do music videos. How different is it from producing a film, and also how similar is it?
Similarities is when there is a storyline for the music video. Whenever there is a storyline for the music video, I easily adapt. I like that. Right. But when there is no storyline and then we're just relying on creative vignettes and shots and performances, I kind of struggle with it a little bit, because at art, I'm a storyteller.
Yes, yes.
So the music videos with the storylines, I will do extremely well with. But the ones that just need creative shots, creative vignettes, performances, shots, I tend to struggle with it a little bit, but still manage to do okay.
Okay, got you. So the similarity is really with the videos that have a story.
Yes.
And the difference would be those that you have to actually source footage and all of that for.
Right,
okay,
right.
I got you. Wow, interesting. All right, so what time it is, because this is going to take a little time. Let's talk about raw materials now. Raw materials, for those listening, is the first Jamaican film in history for an Oscar nomination. First of all, let me just say hearty congratulations.
Thank you.
And then this congratulation is for you and your team. So who is your team? Don't tell me your husband.
My husband, Elise Kelly, who is our production and post-production supervisor and also our cinematographer.
Okay.
And we have another partner, Horain Henry. He is actually the managing partner. He lives in New York, but travels back and forth to Jamaica for work.
Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about the storyline. If there a storyline,
For raw materials,
yes.
definitely, we would definitely not be qualified for an Oscar without a storyline.
Right. Wow. No,
So,
tell us the storyline. Because the big
but
question me want
yes,
to ask is how you feel now that you know, say, your short film is qualified for Oscar. But storyline first.
a storyline is basically an impoverished boy living in a really volatile community, tries to navigate the struggles of that community to really embrace who he is and embrace his talent and try to make a living from his talent. So, in a nutshell, that is what Raw Materials is.
How is it different from storylines that are similar?
Well, for Jamaica, I think this is a groundbreaking film. We touch on a lot of topics that I think some Jamaicans will definitely want to stay away from. But there are some social issues in Jamaica that we need to talk about. And I feel like as a writer, I must use my voice to tackle or bring awareness to these issues. And so a lot of that comes into Raw Material, into one melting pot where we just deal with a lot of social issues.
You know something, I'm so happy to hear you say that. There's a question I'm going to ask you later on, and it ties in beautifully about what women bring to the table that our traditional filmmakers either afraid to talk about or just not sensitive enough to even understand that is something we can talk about. So hearing you say that really is a wonderful thing, and it speaks to what women, what we bring to the
Yes,
table.
yes, yes.
Yes. All
Don't mean
right.
to offend the guys out there, but women have
No.
more depth, so we can bring
Yes.
more.
Yes. And we're not afraid to talk about certain issues, or we're
Oh,
less
definitely.
afraid.
We're less afraid.
Yes, we're less afraid. All right. So, one of the things that I found very exciting about the film is that it includes our Jamaican language, patois. And let's talk about that because a lot of people might think that we could not take a film this far, talk or we talk. Let's talk about that. Was this intentional and how have people responded?
Oh, yes, it was intentional. But to be honest, when I just started writing, I struggled because I've gone to several workshops, especially here in Jamaica, where we have persons from overseas coming in doing these workshops, and they will tell you, don't write in patois. Nobody understands patois. It's going to be difficult for them to understand patois. So when I was writing, because I knew my intentions with this film, I wanted to test the market overseas.
Yes.
And so I was saying, okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to write English. But then my gut is saying, but Sosiessia, you're a Jamaican.
Yeah.
And we might learn proper English in school, but we really don't speak proper English all the time.
Right.
And based on the type of community this film is set in, like, it just would not be pure, it just would not be genuine. And so I threw everything I learned in that workshop and other workshops, I threw it away. And I went with my gut and I said, I'm going to stay true Jamaican. I'm going to stay true to my patois.
Good for you.
And the first award we got was from a film festival in India.
There you
And
see
I was like,
that?
look at that, guys. We're in India. Like, they understood the film and stuff like that. And then we started winning in Paris, Barcelona, Berlin. And I was like,
Wow.
these countries don't even speak English. And they are embracing our Jamaican patois. One of the most positive feedback that I've got from the film internationally is that they're happy that I stuck with my Jamaican patois because they think the language is so beautiful and they just enjoy it.
Absolutely. But you know, Sasha, can you imagine, you see, if you did not follow your gut and decided to
I
do this play
know.
in, and then up comes this storyteller who don't come from Jamaica, who get Jamaican people in a female for talk patois. Can you imagine
Mm-hmm.
how you'd feel if that really happened?
Exactly. I'm happy I stuck with my gut.
Yes, I'm happy you did also. All right. So, women in technology still face. I know you've told us that you've not been too long in media and technology, but I'm sure you have experiences of gender biases, and that kind of thing. What has your experience been, if any at all, and how have you overcome it if you've had to?
Actually, yeah, I have. And for me, it's kind of like twofold because I'm young in the industry and I'm a woman. So being new to the industry, persons might say, oh, she's not qualified to do this or do that. And also being a woman, they're saying, this story probably would be better directed by a male or something. But I said, but I wrote the story. It's my story. Why do I need a man to tell my story? So I've definitely seen it. Even the short time being here, I have seen it.
Right.
Or how I've dealt with it is just to be confident in myself and just know that I don't have anything to prove to anyone.
Right.
I know that I can do it, and so I just go ahead and do it.
In the same way that you went with your gut for Patois.
Exactly.
So no, the film Raw Materials is not just a win for you, but it's a win for Jamaica.
It is. It is.
All right. So my next question now is, when you found out that the film was actually qualified for an Oscar nomination, take me through your various emotions.
First of all, when we got to the festival and we started seeing all the other films, I said to my teammate, guys, we can change our ticket and go home, because there is no way we're going to win anything here, because the films, they were just so amazing. They were beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
They were just awesome films. And I just felt like my film just did not stack up to all of these other films. So they said, well, you're going to have to pay money to change your tickets. I said, okay, I'm not paying any money. Might as well I stay. So we paid and we went to the awards ceremony, and I was just there to support everybody that I've met while being at the festival, because everybody was so awesome and cool. I just went to support everybody.
Right.
And then when it says the winner is Raw Materials from Jamaica, like, I was speechless. I didn't even move. My business partner was like shaking me.
Oh
yes, yes. So I went up there and I collected my award. I gave my thank you speech and I came down. I was still somewhat regular. I had no idea what was going on. But then a producer who we have met in Los Angeles, she walked over to me and she said, guys, do you know what this now means? I said, what? She says, you're now Oscars qualified.
Oh
my teammates and I, we looked at each other and our jaws just dropped. And I was like, what? No way. No. That's not true. And she was like,
Oh my goodness. And this is a first for Jamaica.
It's a first for Jamaica.
But I'm listening to you talking about the fact that you're going with your gut and pato. And I remember having a conversation with Jimmy Cliff a few years ago. And we were talking about The Harder They Come. And he was telling me that when he was auditioning for The Harder They Come, he had just come back from England after spending some time. And he had this accent.
Yes.
And the producer told him very early in the game, lose it. Lose the accent, please. So, for those who really understand the art and the art of being yourself, it wins out every time.
Every time.
So you hear now that you are your film has qualified for an Oscar nomination. Where you go from here? Where does that take you from here?
Okay, so we're qualified for the next award season in 2024. So we will be up for consideration for an Oscars nomination.
Okay. And having got that, up for getting an Oscar. Wow, that is mercy. Can you imagine? That would be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
So we spoke about, women bringing a fresh perspective wherever we go, not just in film, but just wherever we go, as parents, the whole work. My question to you would be the role of media in empowering women. What would you consider to be one of your roles, or the role of any woman in media to help to empower women?
I would say the first step is just holding each other's hands. sometimes as women, we tend to give each other the bitter end of the stick more than how we give our male counterparts. So I would say hold each other's hands, let's encourage each other, let's build together, and let's just see what we as a collective can do. This is why I am so appreciative of an organization called Women and in Film and Television International, the Jamaica chapter. It's a chapter where only women in the industry are a part of, and it's an empowering organization or association. So I would encourage all women, whether you do makeup, you do wardrobe, you do production design, whatever it is, if you bring the coffee on set, whatever you do, join
Right.
that association so we can help each other, we can teach each other, and we can continue to build and continue to grow. Let's just show love,
Yes.
because the core of raw material is universal love. And for me, I think everything begins with love and understanding. So let's just love each other.
Wonderfully said. You know, thanks for following your gut. There's a quotation here from Maya Angelou that I think I should share with you. And it says, "A woman in harmony with her spirit is like a river flowing. She goes where she will without pretense and arrives at her destination prepared to be herself and only herself." And that's exactly what you've done. And your proof, I'm getting goose pimples, your proof that it works.
Yes, it works.
Wow.
It works.
Because you don't even have no whole heap of letters behind your name in this particular field. You just go in with your gut and your team. And you never expect, I'm sure you did not expect to reach this far. You just said it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Before we go, is there anything that you would like to say to those listening that we have not yet spoken about?
Yes, I would want to say to Jamaica and the entire world, the entire diaspora, let us tell our stories. There's a place for our stories. Jamaicans are such beautiful storytellers. If you feel like you're not a good writer, just write and write with your gut and write with your heart and write with passion. And if you think you can't get to where I am, you can. Because 3 years ago, I've never would have imagined I would be here. You know, don't be unhappy in your current situation. There is something you can do to change it. And whatever it is, identify it and make that change.
Wow. So nice talking to you. Sosiessia, one of my listeners says that your name sounds like success.
It does, it does.
Isn't that amazing? Yes. So continue to be that beautiful name that you are. And it
Thank
really
you.
is a pleasure talking to you. Congrats again.
Thank you, and the pleasure is absolutely mine. Love you so much from I was a child. It's just a privilege and an honor to be looking at you and talking to you, Mama Elise. I
Privilege
love
is
you so
ours.
much.
I love you too. And bless up yourself.
Thank you.
Amazing. So this is the kind of inspiration that we give to each other. And there was something special about what see our people, our listeners typing away. There's something very special about what she said. And it's a quotation that I'm going to share with our listeners as we talk together as sisters. And it says, I'm looking for it right now, and I'll soon tell you. And it says, "Be the woman who fixes another woman's crown without telling the world it was crooked." And that is so true. And, you know, as we celebrate as women, there's a lot that we talk about that, you know, we have suffered, but we really need to look at how we have suffered ourselves. In anything, we have to look first within. So, once again, thank you so very much, Sosiessia. And the first time hearing that name, but a beautiful name. Thank you very much for chatting with us, and congrats again. So we're gonna go to our commercial break, right, producer? Or if I have any little time, can I just, oh, can I just read what one of our listeners or a few of our listeners had to say? Kudos to you, success. So that's your new name from our listener. Kudos to you, Success. What are some of her works? I will tell you that a little later on when we come back from the commercial break. And one of my sisters taking all kind of pictures with you. She's actually an actress, and I'm sure she was excited by that conversation a while ago. So it is now time for us to take a commercial break. What Richie Innocent has to say. Let us see what Richie Innocent. Boy, Richie, that one you're long. Mama Soul, I have said it so often that those who do the least, oh no, that's something different. You're one different conversation. So, see, that's one coming. Congratulations to your guest. Him not take no check, him not call your name. Congratulations to your guest who believes in self and is following her dreams and writing her own story and is not afraid or ashamed for sharing it. Thanks to your successor for representing Jamaica. Oh, that was your name he was trying to pronounce a while ago. That was Sosiessia. Thanks for representing Jamaica on an international level. And then this one says, powerful interview, brilliantly done, but no goose pimples, it's Rasta bump. I can't bother with these people, you know. Well, great. That sounds like my sister Carol. All right, so here we are now. Yes, there you go. That's Sister Carol, DJ Sister Carol. Thank you so much for listening, Carol. And she's in New York there. But, you know, as we talk, there is something that we always, it keeps it confronting us, that the lion definitely has to tell his own story, because if he doesn't, the hunter will. So.
Yep, I agree.
Bless you, Sosiessia. More success.
Thank you, Mama Elise.
All right, cool. So we want to welcome the God alone man himself, Hero. Good afternoon, Hero.
Good afternoon, Mama Elise. Be a love, man. Crazy love to the listeners and everyone, you know?
Nice. Beautiful. So you're joining us on the phone. I'm looking at a beautiful picture of you in a red tank shirt. I don't know if a farm, hill, town, that or away.
Yeah, I'm a Tough Gang student. I'll take that picture. Man.
Okay, so the next time I'm going to look properly. All right. So, you know, one of the beautiful things about Jamaican music and, you know, reggae music is that it has so many different flavors to it. There's not just one kind of flavor. And yourself and the God Alone team bring a sweet flavor to the thing, this music called reggae. Let us talk about where you are originally from and the energy that created you and created the music in you.
Thanks, man, for the Christian. Yeah, man. I'm from St. Ann, the parish, I must say, and district Farmtown. You know, grew up in Farmtown and start my whole music career in Farmtown. But the music that the singers, you know, sometimes they say reggae gospel, and because I don't live for the most like God, you know, because of the home that I grown up with, you know, because my mommy, she sing in the choir at church, and then my daddy played the instrument. Any instrument you give my father, he can play it. You know, he always play different instruments for us, and that's the same thing with Pete. Pete is straight from my father, you know. Exactly.
Right. You know, I had the pleasure of talking to you in detail once, you know, before. And it was just so sweet to hear yourself and your brother, because I spoke to PZ also. It was just so sweet to hear the two of you talk about your family history with the music. So you said your mom was in the choir and your dad could play any instrument.
Yeah, he played at the church. He used to play on strip too, you know? Yeah.
Right.
Evening time, daddy would just come in like in the evening, and like every other evening he play a different instrument. He's a man with a lot of different. You have the violin, you have the guitar, you have the drums, you have and sometimes what you do have you buy it and bring it in, and when you bring it in, he surprise us. After we finish eating, he's just like I'm gonna play the violin this evening. I'm gonna play the harp.
Oh my goodness.
You know, yeah, I'll have to sit down, guys. My family is big, you know, auntie. Yeah, big family we have is like as 7 sisters and 3 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and after we eat, we just play music and we listening and teach. We say, yo, this is how you play this and whatever. But may it's always in peace, you know. Yeah, man, that's where my music starts from. And my dad, every morning, every early morning, it's like 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, gonna pass, and he's not in the workshop. And the workshop was right at my room. The window. When I wake up in the morning, I always hear music playing, and he's working. He build furniture and all these things.
He build what?
Furniture. He be like.
Oh, furniture. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So from as early as you can remember, him wake up and in a workshop I play music.
Yes, man. Right,
Oh
my
my
workshop.
God.
And he plays music for us,
You said something a while ago, and we always talk about. Oh, I know I get enough feedback. All right, so we're always talking about bringing forward the old values that we have, and a while ago you mentioned, first of all, having dinner together. That done from my generation, having dinner together, and not only just that, but being gainfully occupied or occupied after dinner in a meaningful way. And that does so much for the family unity,
Yeah, man, we can just remember them things. But because before we eat, after all of us get on the table, we pray first. We just pray and bless the food, and then we eat, and then after that, now we play the music and whatever. So what happened? Music put me to bed, and music wake me up. So.
All right.
I love music so much.
Hero, I'm being asked to tell you to turn off or turn down something. You're listening to, you're listening on a device, right?
Yeah, I'm on my phone now. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing to turn down then. All right, no say a word. All right. Look here. We know we're gonna talk about music, but a lot of people listening from overseas, and tell us a little bit about Farm Town, which part there and the kind of community that you grew up in.
Man, Farm Town is a warm zone, and it's so nice when the sun gone down.
It's Farm Town is a what?
It's a warm town. So nice when the sun gone down. It's just alright,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's very nice district, we play football at the square. When you come into Farm Town, right on the right hand side, the Reggae Square in Farm Town, there's where we have a football side where we play football, the girls and play netball and things, and my district is a little bit out of, we call our little part where where I grew up is Hallin Hall. That's where, and in Hallin Hall where I grew up now, it kind of separates a bit from Farm Town a little bit. Just a little street go around past the Standing Tree and go over. Goes back to the place they call Ridge. But that part now is like it's only Christian alone around that side. When to tell you the truth, Mama Elise, when we grew up, I never hear bad word cuss around here. I never hear bad word, and I don't hear people quarrel. They don't quarrel around here, Even me never see my parents argue like quarrel. One time I see my mommy cry, and it's not like she was arguing. She just there cry, and the whole family upset and wonder what's going on. And after that, we began peeved and moved over, realized they're like a truck that they go outside and things, But otherwise from that, no bad word, no concern. And even today, Mama Elise,
even up to today.
If I could bring around here, it would have surprised. It's a strange that would have come in but close by there now, they're building up a housing scheme, so it's become kind of more noisy, and things. But right around there, it's like a family thing. We grew up in a way which part my father and we have a neighbor named Brother Galloway, and we have a next one named my sister, they live top side, my only sister named Sister Them, right to Brother Macayan. It was so nice, because everybody is Christian, and when we want, if we don't have to cook tonight, we go down to Brother Galloway and we get a piece of yam and, so then put them things together and things. Because we don't have it that, we were poor, we grew up in a poor situation, but we did, and that's a lot of love was there,
Yeah. And can I tell you something? I can hear it in your music. Everything you're saying to me is just so easy to believe, because I hear it and I know, I am actually living this side now. I spent a lot of time amongst artists from St. Anne, still spending that time. So I know you, and I know your brother peased, and there is not a violent bone in nobody.
So true. But since when we come now and take on the street and out there in the street and we get to learn streetwise and with different set of friends and brethren and what, you know? Well, it's a bad word cuss and weed, smoke and pies and all that. So, you know? There's a difference.
All right, so let's talk briefly about God Alone family. Who is the God Alone family and how did that actually go? Because you can't say PZ, you can't say Hero without mention God Alone. So tell me a little bit about how the God Alone family came up.
Well, it started from me, because how I started with God Alone is like, when I used to go to Roof nightclub, I used to pick up Courtney Cole, because he was a man in the Roof lately, and we always sit down like me and President Brown, Shaggy Wanda, them and them friends always outside. And more time, we always use a word with them and say, why go on, man? I say, boy, nothing go on. I just God Alone, yeah, man. Just God Alone. So, like, that's the way we made that, you know, say, I'm supposed to sing a song about God Alone, and that's when we come with the song. And he was the first to do that song, and everything. Never forget, I always play. And when we go back and my little district and thing, them start saying, boy, you're a big star hero. You're God Alone and whatever. And from there, when I go back to, I go Kingston now after. We used to Mercy and Action Fire now, and we redo it, and it become one of the giants and the biggest hit. And from there, you know, I start to tell myself that God alone is thing name, you know, because can't do it without God, and, you know, from me and my father and Mama Elise say, yo, Hero, put God first and everything.
And, you know, anywhere you are, as you say, even in a group of musicians or artists or wherever, you fit in. But everyone know that Hero and the God Alone man. And although you sing other songs and you sing a lot of social commentary, you do a lot of social commentary, like the new one you have here now, we're going to play that one too. But at the center of all of your tune them is righteousness. And really, you know, want to take the time out for just say enough respect. Enough respect to Courtney Cole, as you mentioned, Courtney Cole and the Roof Club. A lot of artists coming out of that experience did very well, still doing very well. You want to remind us of some of them? Jigsy King. You know about Jigsy? Tony Curtis.
First time.
Yes.
Yeah, cut the ranks, them artists from now and then you have Shaggy Wanda, President Brown, Professor
man. Shaggy Wanda, bless up yourself. President Brown. Man.
Yeah, them, you know?
And a lot of the names that you call, also were influenced by the late great Jack Ruby.
So true too, yeah, man. Jack Ruby is a giant in the business, man.
Right, and that side of the world.
Yeah, I believe he was before Courtney Cole, and then.
All right. All right. Because I know he inspired President Brown.
Yeah, man.
Right. So it's nice to be talking about, you know, different communities in, you know, communities in different spaces in Jamaica, because there are so many people listening. And for those who don't know Jamaica and just hearing about only one part of Jamaica or one kind of Jamaica, we want to let them know that there are many communities in Jamaica and there are many different sides to Jamaica. And you just described one a while ago, Farm Town, where you never hear or near and its environs, where you grew up and never hear a bad word curse.
Yeah, man, Farm Town.
Right.
We do a song named Farm Town, Mama Elise.
Remember?
Yeah. And I want to tell you that when I do that song and it's play on the radio, you know, I see people come to me and ask me, they want to buy land in Farm Town, you know. They like to live in a Farm Town. Seriously.
God.
They like to buy a land in Farm Town.
By the way,
how people that in Farm Town now, because
remember the song, man, and it's like it's just so the song itself was so peaceful.
Yeah, man, it's a nice song.
Right. All right. So I know that the artist been going through, you know, the whole thing. All of us been going through COVID, but since the artists are actually performing and out there, it made a significant impact on your lives because you couldn't get a chance to do what you love to do. What was your experience and where are you now in terms of career and getting forward out there?
Well, I would say this COVID thing that the pandemic thing, what them come across, it make, right now I would say it makes me stronger, you know, because of the experience that I get, even in the studio, because in this production that I put out, the last production that we put out now, we call it The Journey Continue, which done by me and PZ, organized the rhythm and the whole thing, you know. It takes me like a couple of years starting it, but in COVID, you sit down and put things together more, you know, serious, and realize that it's one of the best projects I consider I've done in the music business.
So The Journey Continues is actually a production for between you and your brother.
And he's the one that play the music and do the backup singing and everything or whatever. Because Mama Elise, PZ is like, as I said, like my father, if I'm looking at rhythm now, I don't have to call no musician, but we have to, but the thing is, we like different sounds than other people play sometimes, and it's great when you do a thing with more than one people or two people than when you speak with just ourselves alone. You know, so we call other musician to come in, like we know a good bassist sometimes to play the bass, and you know, so on. But
right.
The COVID thing is really make me stronger with our production out there now and to experience what's going on across the world too. You know, do more reading and
you have more time.
Yeah,
man.
And even with our family also, you know.
Wow. So this you said this is your production. Was that God Alone production?
Continue is our production. I got alone production.
Right.
Tad is the one that put it out right now.
Okay, so say CD me go beg you do, you know, a CD me play. So moving right along. So this new one that I have now, I actually I'm a friend on Hensley Cameron's Facebook page, and he was promoting it, and I listened to it and I loved it dearly. So what's the name of that one? Who produced it? Give us a little information about that. Lafaine, we can just queue up that resume plate, all right? So tell us a little bit about that.
This one, Head Gone, it's done in Clarendon, you know. Before the COVID, this I done this one. This one, it's done at the Move Up Records studio in Clarendon, owned by Ralston. He's the engineer, but I was the one that like tell him what to play, go in the studio. Just like what me and Peter would do down here.
Right.
Yeah, and tell him how to play it and things. So when I finish with it now, I come to Peter and I say, Peter, listen to this, and you know, and that's how we put it together. But it's a really nice song, and I remember Favorite was in the studio too. Favorite and Miguel. He was my roadman at that time. Miguel Simpson in Canada. But when we put it together, it was a great song.
Yes.
And it's going to be on my label, that's God Alone label.
Right. Okay.
So it's our production.
Okay. All right. So we're going to listen now to that song, Head Gone. So we're going to play it from the Bridge Studio. So here we go. No. Head Gone is the name of this brand new track from Hero. Yeah, man. Beautiful. So we have Hero online, and we're here talking about just music. We're talking about Farm Town, where his family is from. We're talking about the impact of Farm Town on his music and his life. We're just talking about a sweet part of Jamaica where the world needs to hear about. Hero?
Yeah.
I hear the song, and we hear the music, and we hear the lyrics, but we still have to ask you about the inspiration that you know, what inspired this song. Let's talk.
Well, I must say, the most I would say, great inspiration comes from the most and it's like, you know, I would just say, and this what I'm doing now is just like, I just feel like I'm here to do this, you know, and we just keep on. And the whole inspiration again about what's going on around.
Yeah.
So the whole situation sometimes it's wicked out there. A lot of people might see, because I always try to put the best out. That's what Mommy would tell me. Say, yeah, from a little boy, I say, I always get a bit of smile on the face, because from there's life, there's hope, you know.
Yeah.
So more time, the thing shaky and don't look good, but this is just music, and as I would say, me is music and music is me. I just love music, Mama. You know?
Yeah.
So my greatest wish is for the world to hear the message that I'm putting in the music, because I use the music like a person. You know?
Right.
To spread my message across the world for what I learned from my parents or what I think is right. You know, try to put it to the world.
But you know something though, Hero, you always have a social conscience. You're always talking about what is going on in the communities, what the youth them are deal with, how the youth them feel live. You're always kind of guiding the youth them socially and, you know, and in terms of how them feel live as a community. And that is one of the things that I love with you, because there's many ways to worship, you know. Is many ways to worship, and you know you can quote Bible from now till the morning, but when you step out there and say to the youth them, at this I go on now in a this day and age, how you go use wisdom to live a better life, that is so much more meaningful in my opinion.
So true, man. So true, and just guidance and protection the youth want to take the street and take the road, you know, because if they don't know it, if you don't know a thing, they'll just really lost, you know. Yeah, man.
Sure.
So what I learn, I try to teach the younger one them. Because even when I have two sons now singing music in the mama. Two sons. Yeah, man. And one morning, we know that they're singing music. One morning, one was with me, and we wake up in the morning and I hear him play a little music on the social media. And I say, yo, I like the melody. It's nice. But when I listen to the words in the music, I say, not really some joker. Why you sing this nice song and put them words there, you know? So, and my album now, one last time when we don't, because we have a studio now, you know, Mama. Have a studio. Yeah, man, we create a studio, God alone studio in Ocho.
Where is that? Oh, in Ocho.
Yeah, but at Buxfield, because I live in Ocho now. I live at Toa.
Okay.
No. Yeah, and the thing is like, when we hear them, please to me, say, then you know, so them know that studio enough time here. What you talk about? They say, what you say? Say, yeah, man. Bring them in, man, and make them do a song. So the album that I have, titled Journey Continues, I make them sing a song on it, and the song, I title the song on it called Do the Right Thing. Mm-hmm. And when I sing you the album, you will hear what I'm talking about. It's a really nice song. It's a type of a kind of, I wouldn't call it a chop beat, but it's a kind of beat like have a bit of chop in it, but it's kind of chopped up. It's a good sounds and thing. And me and two of them do a song, man, called Do the Right Thing. It's a very good song. You know?
Beautiful.
The words, and I love it. And me I tell them what to do, and them I tell them back what them learn from me and whatever.
Wow, nice, beautiful.
So
wow. Well, we're glad to hear this. We, you know, I've always said, Hero, I've always said from ever since that yourself and your brother are two of the most, two of the greatest musicians to come out of Jamaica. But I don't think you get the recognition that as to how great you both are quite yet. But that's okay, because that not stop greatness. Greatness are just greatness. And in my opinion, yourself, Hero, and your brother are two of the greatest musicians and artists to come out of Jamaica. Continue to be who you are in spite of what popular, what them are wear, whatever them are say. You just stay upon your God alone mission, because it really is a beautiful purpose.
So much more, man. And when I hear you say that, man, for real, I can feel it in my bone, you know? Because people that you're listening to, you young people are going to be like, tell me love to Mama, you know?
Yeah, man, we'll send forward that love. And this song that we just played a while ago, I'm looking forward to getting The Journey Continues. So make sure that I get it in my hand. And this one, Head Gone. So we're definitely going to be giving that the support. And I'd love to have, and my colleagues, The Journey Continues on your label.
I will make you get it, because me and people that have a track on it, I know you're going to like to.
Yes.
Because sorry for them. Sorry for the wicked, them will create these corrupts and things. It's a very nice track. I love it.
I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. Every time I put on a song from either of you, it just gives me a good feeling. You know? And that's what music is supposed to do. Wonderful talking to you, Hero, and all the best. Before we leave, though, just one last question. Where can we find your music on social media?
Well, Godman Little Hero. Then just put in Godman Little Hero, and everything will pop up.
Okay, beautiful. That's Godman?
Godman Little Hero.
G-O-D?
Yeah.
Man?
Godman, yeah.
Little Hero?
Yeah.
and the information will come up.
Thank you, man.
All right,
Definitely.
beautiful. Give thanks again and guidance and protection.
Thanks again for having me and to all the fans out there. No love, man. I love you. No blessings from me and PZ also. Mama Elise, thanks again and to all the workers that do it, you know. Crazy love.
Give thanks. Love, love. Beautiful. That's Hero, formerly Little Hero. His name is Paul Gale, and you know he hails from Farmtown because any chance he gets, he tells you about where he's from. He just did a while ago. He comes from a community where he never hear bad word cuss yet. Right here in Jamaica, country door, St. Anne, in a bush, sweet, and him have a sweet song that him do call Farmtown. Just a great artist, great human beings, and we really need to be, focusing some more on these wonderful souls, these great human beings with this palace music, and just at least give our people a chance to be a part of it. A wonderful conversation with Hero, and again, we look forward to getting a copy of that CD that he told us about a while ago. That's coming up now. The journey continues, and the song that we played a while ago, we will definitely give some more love. So we're just about ready now to connect with Beauregard in New York and all the listeners on Irie Jam Radio. Good afternoon.
Greetings, Mama Kelly. Good afternoon, Jamaica.
How art thou?
Everything is great, Mama Kelly. I'm doing wonderful. Feeling good. Another day here at Irie Jam Radio. We give thanks for life,
Give thanks.
Definitely.
What's the weather like where you are?
The weather nice, It's actually about in the 40s today, about 46 degrees today.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, that's nice. They're saying rain tomorrow and maybe on Saturday, so we'll watch it and see how it turns out.
Okay. What are you going to say?
No, I was going to ask you how are things in Jamaica?
Oh, lovely. Yesterday, International Women's Day was beautiful.
Yes. Let me wish you a happy International Women's Day, Mama Kelly.
Thank you very much, and all the listeners, men and women.
Lafaine.
Yes. All the women on the bridge, all the women, your listeners on Irie Jam Radio, just all women, And what I particularly loved about yesterday was how our brothers just gave us a chance to celebrate each other without thinking that, nothing. In fact, they were really very vocal on Facebook about celebrating women and all of that, and it's a good feeling,
Yeah, and we need to see more of that. More of that. Yeah, we need to see the men uplifting and putting the women on a pedestal, or making them feel how they're supposed to feel as queens of the earth and the mothers of civilization. So bless up to the women. Can't do without them. There's no life without the women. Yeah,
something.
I have to say that.
Yeah, something. I was listening to a song. It's actually an original John Lennon song, and Peter.
Paul McCartney.
No. It's an original. Peter Lloyd does it over.
Okay.
But it's a song "Woman" by John Lennon, and there's a line in it. I'm not quoting, but he was just saying that in the line he was just saying wonderful things about woman. And then there's
a song that says "Woman I can hardly express."
That same one.
That's it. Yes.
That same one. Right.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful song.
Big true.
And he was saying, he was just saying in one of the lines of the song that he respects us so much that it's like his life is in our hands. And every time I hear that line, my life is in your hands, I think to myself, what an awesome responsibility that is. And it's just as awesome a responsibility as mothering, because remember, so we don't come with a manual,
No.
And none away. So if you know, say we get them responsibility there without a manual. It's a big responsibility. But when someone powerful can look on you and say to you, say, boy, my life in your hand, it really tells us that it's one thing to celebrate who we are and woman, and no man can do without her and all of that. And it's another thing to accept that power and the responsibility that comes with it.
True indeed, Mama Kelly. True indeed. Once again, big up to all the women, big up to all the mothers out there, bless up to everybody who celebrated the women yesterday and continue to celebrate them after yesterday. every day the women should be celebrated.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
Speaking of celebrations, Mama Kelly, I want to let you know that Irie Jam's own DJ Roy was crowned on Sunday over the weekend at an event called Teardrops here in New York City in the Bronx. It's a monthly event that is held in the Bronx at Club Mingles. And of course, the entire tri-state area came out to support and show the love for DJ Roy. After 40 years, 4 decades, yeah, 4 decades in music, and the contribution that DJ Roy has given to, you know, to the tri-state area and to Jamaica and to the music industry, and, you know, just the way he has helped out people on a daily basis just by being on the air and, you know, helping someone to go that step further. You know,
bless up yourself, DJ Roy.
Big up DJ Roy.
Always a pleasure. I know that, you know, as a veteran, when you're on stage with a DJ Roy, you know, say, you know, thing turn up, you know.
Yeah, man.
Veteran thing turn up, you know. You can't just do as veteran alone. You have to do as veteran plus.
and DJ Roy did not spare any efforts in telling us that his name actually means king. Roy actually means king. So we can now call him King DJ Roy.
Yeah, man, a king,
or
man.
King Roy.
Yeah, man, King Roy,
Yeah,
man,
man.
a king,
Yeah,
man. I'll tell you, yeah, man, things step up, you know, you go on stage with your powers, you know, you feel like, say, all right, I eat that, and then come DJ Roy, you have to say, okay, king, cool. Cool now, man.
Real.
Bless up
Big
yourself.
respect. Yeah, man, big respect to DJ Roy. Also, Mama Kelly, we also want to send condolences going out to the Cooper family on the passing of Arif Cooper earlier this week. Sad situation for the whole music industry, you know?
Wow. There were so many conversations, as you can well imagine,
Yes.
about that one knocked us off our feet. But after, you know, you come to terms with the fact, say, it happened. One of the things that I was, you know, saying, trying to get some strength from, is that, you see, true, none of we now go come out of that something, you know, alive. It means that we start for either rewrite the narrative where we have under something, or start looking at it differently. Because Arif was, me not gonna say, nobody want this, you know. We don't want it, but it's just something that is not don't want, make it don't come. It's something that coming.
Yes.
And when you say Arif was doing what him passionate about,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
up to the very last minute, me say, would I say walk good, but now me have to say dance good.
Yes.
Select good, because you know, so the more they him left in now.
Yes.
So, you see where I'm going with this.
I love the way you put it, Mama Kelly. Definitely. Condolences once again, and you know, he'll definitely be missed. And he left us a great catalog, I should say, of music here. So big respect to him, you know, and for all the artists that he came across and worked with, and all the people who he entertained. You know, I'm sure they will miss him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And of course, his parents, we always thinking of them. I'm always thinking about Ibu, his dad, and Jai, his mom, and how not easy it is to bury a child.
True indeed.
So we send love and strength.
Yes. Mama Kelly, can you shed some light on the strike that is going on with the teachers in Jamaica?
Say a while ago, you make me jump, you know. When you say spread some, could you spread some light? You hear me to myself, I hope no salt and pepper again, you know. Because I can't manage.
No.
All right, so we spoke about it today, actually, on the program. Let me see if I can pull it up again and tell you exactly what is happening. So, there is a strike on, of course, you know, more teachers are asking for more wages from the government, and this has been an ongoing negotiation, perhaps about 2 years or so, and the island's teachers have not accepted the government's offer, and although the gap is closing based on the amount of teachers now that have accepted, the gap is still wide, and more teachers than not are actually 300, over 300 delegates are deciding not to take the offer, and it has been a protest all week, and it has actually intensified because was it yesterday they agreed no for to take casual leave tomorrow, today, starting today.
Wow.
And tomorrow to actually intensify their protests. And as you can imagine, there are those who will turn it into a political issue, and it really is a set of people, as far as I have interpreted it, who are asking for livable wages because it's extremely expensive to live in Jamaica. And if you're a teacher who has so much influence on people and you cannot even live, it doesn't say much for where you're from.
I totally agree with you, Mama Kelly. I mean, when we look at it, we have to ask ourselves who's gonna, suffer in this situation, and everybody's actually gonna suffer. The teachers are already suffering. The students who are just coming out of a pandemic, and their education was already interrupted.
Exactly.
For like 2 years or so, and they're trying to get back into to learning more than they're trying to even catch up on some of the things that they should have learned at a certain time in their life. So when you look at it, if the government fails to pay the teachers, in the long run, the whole of Jamaica might suffer, and it's a sad situation, and we have to just make sure we clamp down on this one before it really and truly gets out of hand and get too far.
Exactly.
I mean, whoever is responsible, them have to realize that you cannot disrupt the youth's education, and that's a big no-no in my book.
And I really think that the government needs to listen to teachers, because you mentioned over the pandemic they worked beyond the call of duty.
Yes.
It was just amazing. We're not talking about those. We are talking about the one them where we are talking about. That them are mother. We talked about it today. We spoke about it today. And you said something a while ago, Beauregard, which is so true, that the students are catching up more now than even learning, just getting back into the culture of being at school.
And they haven't fully done that yet, because we see they're still distracted with each other, in terms of getting into altercations and things of that nature.
Same so.
I mean,
obsessed with them phone.
Exactly. And Mama, I wasn't the perfect student. Let me just say that. Nobody, I don't know, maybe there are perfect students out there, but I wasn't one of them.
There.
There
are perfect students out there.
I've fallen behind on schoolwork before, and to catch up to that, Mama Kelly, that was like hell for me. You have to keep up with the current work, plus you have to do the work that you didn't do at the time when you were supposed to do it. So now, can you imagine these kids in Jamaica who are, some of them are on the right path and they're flowing at a steady pace, and now the teachers go on strike. So their plans get interrupted, because however long this strike lasts, they're going to have to catch up that period of time that the strike was out.
Yep.
And there are students all across the island that might be moving at the same pace that they're moving before the strike, and the ones who the strike affected, they are the ones who have to do the catching up. So it's a sad situation.
And something else too, a lot of these students that you just spoke about, their inspiration is the teacher. So if it's the teacher been grounding them all these couple of years, trying to help to keep them balanced and grounded. So when them don't have that, you see the kind of chaos that that can come about if it's not, as you said, treated with a sense of urgency.
And they have to do this because if the teachers also don't have the proper working conditions and the proper environment to function, then the students are not going to get the proper teaching that they need.
Beauregard, remember, the kind of classroom them teachers are teaching, I know, like when we did a girl school,
The war zone now, don't
a bad man them a teach. You understand me?
And them have exams. They also have exams coming up, right, Mama?
Yes.
Yeah, man. So,
but the teacher is all right, fine. Miss have to go deal with that. But that to me, unfortunate, but sometimes it just tests your powers as an individual, as an educator, as a human being, you know, to say how you can relate to the youth them still. Because sometimes I watch them in the Aldrich Park, you know, like early morning. But they get up early because they have to catch a school bus. But let me tell you something, man, X amount I look through, I pee a selfie, and
I tell you.
and nobody feels that the girl them may attack, you know. Them too, but the man, them dead, peep, clock. And sometimes I say to myself, I hope all of that settles down by the time them reach school.
Right. Well, Mama Kelly, we're with the teachers, and we want the teachers to get better pay, and we want them to be in a better working environment, and we want them to have better working conditions so they can teach the youths of Jamaica. This is investing in education, you know. This is investing in the country. This is investing in the youths.
Yep.
So if the teachers have to be proper. And we hope it don't trickle down to where next you have police strike and soldier strike.
Well, most of the good public servants are disgruntled with the wage, with the offer, but the teachers are on the forefront right now, you know, because government wages, you know, are poor.
All right.
Anyway, we're going to take a break.
All right, we'll soon come. You know, Mama Kelly, I just saw a clip from the Gleaner where they're saying that the Ministry of Education tells school administrators to take action against protesting teachers. And it's saying that protesting teachers could be hit with deductions from their salaries and leave entitlements as well as other forms of disciplinary action based on a circular sent by the Ministry of Education to school administrators.
Disciplinary action. Interesting turn. Very interesting turn. So, yeah, there's that.
We hope this works out in favor of the teachers.
You really think this is going to work out in favor? You know, you're the people that get punished.
I'm hoping.
Them being punished.
Wow. Then punishment could lead them to do what, Mama Kelly? Quit.
Look here.
And then what happens?
Look here. We will see. We will see, because what else can I say?
I'm not sure if disciplinary action is the right way to go or the right thing to put out in the public.
We will see. Very interesting turn. Rory, wait. Good afternoon, Rory.
You don't see me vex.
For what now?
Me left my yard from Christiana. I'm going to buy you goodies and drive all the way from Christiana.
Oh my goodness.
Van Williamsburg, Scotch Pass. See, and drive the highway, pay the toll booth, and then pay the next toll booth, and then drive up Dwayne Park up on the boulevard, and come to see you from 11 o'clock. I'm reaching me and say, nah, come here. I'm
sorry, you don't
talk yet. See, but tell me Empress, let's go up on the market and buy some things. I'm reaching from 11 o'clock to come see you. Because you know, say I mean your thing, go. I say, I bring all a special tune for you. I say, my heart broken because I go my yard now. They say, kick me out. I say, oh, you're gone. Miss Kelly. It's like, go back which part? We go which part in a while ago.
Where you come from?
Yeah.
So, no, so putting your Empress no me well doing.
Yeah, I was talking vex me. I say, oh,
I'm afraid.
I left the yard. Blessings, Mama.
Greetings, Rory.
Blessings, man. You look so beautiful, and I got this bag for you. It's right here.
Thank you very much.
I heard you'll be here tomorrow.
We will speak. Rory, yes. So
I got you this.
Please leave it to the producer.
This nice mix. Where the cameraman there?
So all's not lost in a Rory, because I can still collect them.
I get this too. Some nice things there too. I get this.
I make so much nice.
So them things they're nice.
True, but on a special CD for you, you know. On a special CD.
No make a CD back nice until me a place.
That's it. Papa Boo go on in New York City.
There in a Rory, I go on
a long time in the scene, a long time, what, 1984 was the last time?
No, not so long, Rory. I see you last year, your birthday celebration in the Queens,
yeah,
man.
the Queens scenes. A long time in the scene, though.
Yeah, man.
How is New York, man?
New York, nice, same way.
I heard that Mr. Clark's giving you guys a raise of pay. Is it true? That's the biggest thing I heard.
Yes, that is true.
DJ Roy told me that you guys got a gold Rolex watch and a down payment on a BMW.
Man, all of that is true. Yeah.
We don't get it in Jamaica. We don't even get paid. It's wicked here in Jamaica right now, trust me. So I have respect for the item still, you know. When the bad mind the item still. Wish you all the best.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, for real.
You know, Rory.
It's the Stalin.
You know, it was a risk us having you here, though. You realize that?
Do you know they put me on earlier now? God inside, they're gonna give me a chance. Yeah, man. I say, we'll put you on 6 to 8 and see how you do. And you can't. And my first show, then cuss me say, well, you can't cuss them people there. They will sue you.
Is that, you know? So, what is enough respect to management for bravery?
Brave man.
Well, Rory, this is my first official chance to do an interview with you. And
my behave myself.
Me I got take the opportunity to ask you some questions that I would like the answers, and the listeners would also want to hear if they don't.
If I say that means I'm not gonna answer.
When did Rory enter into the music industry, and how did Rory get attracted to the music?
Well, you know, say my mother. This is in London days now. So London days now was like house party and town hall session. So my mother's always keep dance. You know, see. So for me, I Pitney. It matter like Louis Jordan days, like take off a track and chickens and all them tunes. So we go from them days and ska come in, and then reggae all time, rocksteady, then reggae come in. So the whole spectrum of Jamaicanism, and then we come to Jamaica in the 70s, and you know it's always been music. And a lot of people don't know that I'm a very, very good singer. I sound just like Dennis Brown. I mean, if you give me a chance to let me sing, one of these days you'll be like,
you can't do that right now.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was thinking, why not? No.
Are you sure?
Your favorite D Brown?
Money in my pocket and I just can't get no love.
Respectfully. you know, just like how you're honest with me. I love to be honest with you.
Are you blushing? Do you have goosebumps? You can tell me.
No, darling.
So when you arrived in Jamaica in the 70s, how did you keep in touch with the culture?
Well, you know, say we did Jamaica, like a Curious record shop was the place to go for me. You know, we used to leave Calabar High School, and we write a Curious record shop and so listen tune. And then we had them time we had fete at Jamaica. You know, remember we used to have fete, you know, like Immaculate Holy Childhood, Andrews Queens High School, fete. You know, they're not fetes no more. Them time them man used to dance with woman. You understand me? You know, it's a different thing now. You know, things change. You know, man dance with them phone. You know, so. Yeah.
Then came the music career. When you started playing sound.
When we play sound, it's just them time we're up on the streets. It's like when we rob people or we play sound. And them time everybody want to be squeezed. Squeeze, peacemaker. Everybody want to be squeezed. So we just take off our shirt and bust the headphone off and go like we are squeezed and play sound, and you know, everybody want to be squeezed. But them time now, Dirk Harriet was the only record shop that sell them disco 12-inch. We couldn't afford that, so we are mix rubber up. You know, say we are mix D Brown and Taxi and all them things. You know, so we get free start still. And them time there was no money. I mean, me and we used to go and dance and buy 2 beer that last the whole night. There was no money. You know, so we was probably the forefront of that, the pioneers of. You know, it turns into a job because when we I'll do elevator work. You know, see it's. I mean, like when
them time, the Rory, when you were young and impressionable, who was the?
I mean, impressionable. I'm not impressionable right now.
Well, because you're young right now. Who were some of the selectors that you admired?
It was Squeeze on the soul side. Rubber up side was like Danny Dread, Inspector Willie. Those are my heroes. You know, so Danny Dread. From socialist roots, you know, them and them from them to like Volcano, every sound system in touch, Stir Mars, you know, it's like the rubber dub daddy, you understand? To me still. You have Ainsley from Jara, I used to love Arrows Gemini with Archie, you know, them times there too. Fat Joe from Ochiras.
Yes.
No, it's so bad. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Ochiras. Yeah, I mean, like, those were our heroes. Inspector Willie, we love Inspector Willie's selection. I didn't get a chance to listen Ira as a selector, but on Toby's, I did so unlucky to miss that era still, live and direct. He had Emperor Fate, was a wicked sound, Mikey Fate. You know, see, personal bridging too. Who passed away too. Yeah. So I come from them times, mama. I don't know if you was born them time, maybe in the born them.
I was born. You're talking to poor guy.
I used to go jail off out of pool. I mean, jail off days out of pool.
Selector Albert Malawi.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, man. So that's my little history, you know.
Nice. Cross section.
I'm also a very great dancer. I'm a very good dancer too. I mean,
don't dance, Rory. No, neither me nor Beauregard now go say this time. Perhaps you should use the opportunity to dance. That now go on.
So you danced Afrobeat a while ago. What make you?
Yeah.
A while ago, so what make you do my thing?
I watch Mama, pay attention, man.
I tell you. You mean?
Mama, me not lie. In the engineering room, everybody there, so praise and I behave myself.
Oh my God, me know say you didn't give them trouble. Me know, man. Me know when you're about in them impeachment. Tell me. So, Rory, you know the part about you that intrigues me.
Is my chest?
No. No, stop. Okay, let's just stop. All right. The fact you're a selector, everybody know, Rory Stone Love, right? But as a producer, you get into a space musically where I don't think you get a chance to go as a selector.
You know what? There are times that I can get to play my dub, like sometimes some places. Even in New York, I get cast by if you can do a dub set in a city like Manhattan, and even up to last night, I get a request for do a dub set too. It's very rare still. We get them in Europe every now and then too, but it's very, very expensive for me to do that though, because I have to pay for my son's education, and my empress, I have to get her share of the cut, and my friends at the studio always want things from me like cologne, food and stuff like that, and I have to support my team, the Bridge Nation. I love them so much. They're like my children, you understand me? They mean so much to me, and every day I look at them, my eyes full of water, because they're such beautiful people, and they work very hard. People don't know how hard these producers work.
True.
People like they will see us doing our job, but behind the scenes, the work that they do, the sacrifices. You talk about teachers, you want to talk about them producer right now. Trust me.
I hear you.
Yeah, man, it's passionate and it hurts me so much that in my heart.
You see the listener them with Beauregard. That's why we can't follow them. Here somebody just text now. Make Rory dance, please.
Yeah. When I dance, I tend to take off my clothes piece by piece.
No, okay. I bet you should take I say, all right, I'm done. I am
okay,
so
Mama.
done.
Yeah.
Right.
They seem to like my legs. Something about my legs. They're like, that's why I wear a lot of shorts now, because they say, oh, Rory, I just love your legs, and it's strange.
Rory knows me not go follow up that. So here what me.
You can ask Bridget. Me and Bridget, what punishment?
I don't look. Stop. Let me ask you this though, because I'm thinking of some of the dub productions that I hear from Rory Stone Love. I'm going to talk about the new thing too soon, but just let me ask you this. What is your inspiration? Because you're talking about the work and how much work it is, but I think a lot of your energy perhaps taken up just in that creative space.
I'm going to be serious now, and this is a serious thing. And sometimes I wonder if my mother work, because sometimes the most I talk in my sleep. Like I be sleeping, I be driving, and when I say, what happened to you? I say, make it have a vision for make a beat that go like this, or for do this. You understand me? Like when I was doing like John 9 album, I get nothing to vision for the most if it makes sense. So type of rhythm them, some more I make it a mission again.
Yes.
If a Garvey are coming at me and say, boy, make a pro black album and what have you, and then we did a summary album.
Yes.
And now I get a vision now for do a tribute to British reggae music, see it. So and then I get a next vision from what they for make a East album, Roots. That's it's soon released too. It's soon that one there too. I'm gonna get a next vision now for do a next album, a next Roots album. I'm gonna get two more vision now for do 2 more pro black albums. So and after that, I don't ever get more vision.
Yeah, but you know something, Rory. I'm happy that you're saying it like this, because there's a part of the work that you just spoke about that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's spiritual intervention. And sometimes you have a masterpiece, and it's like you almost feel shame for say, "And me and God do it," because people will laugh off.
No, the most I make me dope, you know. Yeah, man. The most I bless me, you know. And even my Empress said, "Boy, I've changed. Like, I'm more spiritual than before still."
Yeah.
You understand, man? I praise the Most High every day, and it means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah, man. And it manifests in your work.
Yeah.
Because even the Samurai CD, more time I listen to the dub, them and me I say, then which part Rory there make him come out with this, and it's just at heights.
But you could have called me, you know, making a spot me there, you know.
But Rory, as you mentioned, Samurai,
Yeah.
I had him as my hit pick of the week a few weeks back. Blood in the Streets. Is that all?
No, that's
that's
Winter.
not your production.
They're with he's with Winter James now.
Okay. That wasn't on the
Yes.
album. Okay.
No, that's Winter James' production. It's a very
Great artist.
yeah. The mother album right now. I heard some of it sounds very good. It's very good. So I mean, me not gonna bash.
You say that.
Me not bash nobody.
If you say that, can you mark hard in the Rory?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
it
that's
like
good.
working with these young artists? No.
I prefer to work with a young artist. I don't like to repeat the artist, because when you tend to repeat the artist and then for it all no, and then the most I vision now go vision again. So the most I tell me say, boy, let's do a one thing and then move along to a next new artist. So I follow.
So you don't feel that if you work with somebody and you have a successful project that you can work with them again?
No, like in the Bible, the most the prophets them that one time and work with them and then they move on to our next prophet. So the Bible states too, you know, see it, yeah.
And you're working with your spirit.
Yeah,
you
my
know,
spirit.
Yeah, man, you work with your spirit. Man.
But no, how about I don't come across mad, you know? I know if people
No,
feel
little bit, but
No,
but we still
totally.
get you. We still get you.
So sometimes I talk to myself too, you know. By the time when I talk to myself at night times in the one corner, I look at the wall and
But it's
start
good
talking to myself.
practice. If you can't talk to yourself,
And
or you
then
talk to other
me
people.
start to shake too, you know, and things like that.
We're going to take a break here now. But Beauregard, no, because we genuinely have to take a break. But
Okay.
Beauregard, when we come forward, as we listen to Rory, you never dream, say you play a tune where you never have in your mind none tal.
No,
Mama Kelly,
no, that's a natural thing for me.
I get ideas so often. I get vexed with myself when I forget some of them.
Yeah, all right, good.
Yeah,
Good,
man.
All right. So you say it's our experience. Where you don't know which part the inspiration will come from, but it's not from you, and it's from higher than which part you did there. So, go figure. We'll take a break soon forward. And you are joining us live on the Global Connection, and we are connected with Beauregard of the Irish Jam Radio in New York. Good afternoon, New York and the entire tri-state. And we having a conversation, a riotous one, a wonderful one, spiritual and riotous. And I didn't know you could blend the two with none other than Rory Stone Love, who is in the Bridge 99 FM studio. So that's that. Yes. Can we hear the song?
Yes, we can. And this song right now is a cover, originally done by Brooke Benton and Johnny Clark and Mr. John Holt. And it's a start this album from a sister called Elise Scott from Wales, and half of it was done in Jamaica and the other half was done in the UK. So the strings parts was done in the UK and the other part was done in Jamaica, and it's a wonderful song. And it's a question to you, Elise. Do you love me? You understand me?
What's what man girl beat?
Elise Kelly, do you love me, baby?
God, but you know, let me ask you something. You know, you need to read somebody comment there with my listen to them and say, no, because there is something. What a character. Is he real? He's a riot. Up here, them to me. I just show me say if in trouble me, I read them. What is
So you don't love me?
no. But look here now, Rory.
Yes,
seriously.
Darling. Yes, darling.
You know, say. First of all, this lady has a very rich voice.
I know you're speechless right now.
No, she has a very rich voice. Let me just say that.
Yes,
And
yes.
you said earlier, you mentioned earlier that you're going to do some work with English English music or
No, it's like a tribute to what that go on in the 70s in England. You understand me?
you see this song here and
Yes.
how you produce it reminds me of how the British interpret reggae.
Right. And it makes you think about me and you.
If what?
It makes you think about me and you.
Where Miss Lady? She didn't hear about because she need for coming with a fried pan in her head.
This is Alicia Scott. She's from Wales. Mother's white, father's Jamaican, black.
Okay.
And she's also a BBC presenter on BBC Radio 1 and BBC TV.
Wow.
How long has she been singing?
Well, I saw her on Facebook doing a little foolishness. I was like, I'm gonna take a chance with somebody brand new, somebody nobody don't know. I like the unknown. I'm a call. I say, I like your voice. I'm gonna record. I'm not lying to you. By weekend, she was in Jamaica.
Really?
Couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I was like,
wow.
I was in shock. I'm not lying.
She knew who you were.
Well, I'm dope. I mean, everybody knows who I am. I mean,
She must have known who you were. She must have. She not just fly come down and friend anybody.
And I behaved myself. I was very, 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 very professional, platonic. I was behaving myself. I did not cross no lines whatsoever because my empress and my family was there, and they would not have it.
No, boy God. Suppose you meet Rory's empress, sane, calm, royal,
Mama says seeing.
creative, absolutely beautiful.
Why you cuss me?
but what you know, so you understand why she did have so much over there, so because she didn't have to go balance over here, so beautiful empress. Anyway, you know something, Rory,
Yes,
you're
darling.
good at what you do. You really are good at what you do, because this is the kind of song that I mean, we kind of long to play.
And I want you to play it every day when you're on the radio station and before you go to bed. And
Just send me a CD.
the CD is right here. Is right in. I made the CD especially for you.
Me a comfy.
And I signed it, and it's
no worry.
And this
Me soon
sleeve,
get
this
it.
is a homemade sleeve. God, I don't have sleeves no more. So you just slide it in like this. and I understand that you can't. But Mr. Clark told me that you cannot do payola. That's why I bought you these gifts.
No, say you're scandalous and disgusting. Me glad you talk about the gift them and make everybody know say banana happy. Sure.
Anyway, thank you so much, Miss Kelly. Love your sister. See, boo. I'll be in Brooklyn on the 18th, 20 March and Burt Strong Party. Brooklyn comes alive.
And let me just remind you that Glamour Wayne said to heal you up, and him said Fat Jaw was from Jack Ruby.
Jack Ruby. It was a mental breakdown, and I have these mental breakdowns that the Almighty, but don't call that name right now, and that's follow the spirits. Them, you understand me?
Lovely talking to you, Rory.
And tell them and say have a nice day.
You too.
Okay,
you too.
thank you so much. I'm gonna leave you now. I'm sorry it couldn't work out between us. I'm so sorry it couldn't work out, but I'm spoken for. Okay.
No, Beauregard and people in the New York.
You know me, I stay out of it, Mama.
Not staying. No, because the New York people them could not believe me like them believe you. Say, another thing.
Mama, they know me in New York. It's my second home. Them know say, and I lie me and tell it now work between me and you. They know say.
All right. Sake of that, I'm going to read another comment. Miserable and hilarious in a one.
So Rory, where you say you'll be here on the 18th?
Yeah. Battery and Burt Strong. Nice gentleman. Gifted selector. It used to be me, now it's him. I'm in a bad mind still, but you don't.
Thanks again, Rory.
Okay.
And I'll pick up those things tomorrow. And I'm really very, very grateful to know, say, you're producing and the kind of song, no joke, I'm very serious. The kind of songs that you're producing, brilliant. Continue to do what you do. So, this is
Rory, that's not man is a character, I swear to you, Mama Kelly. What you say, when you afraid for bringing him on?
No, trust me. No, I don't. No, can I tell you something? I roar that 24/7.
No, man.
Give him no break. Him just keep going. May I tell you?
Yeah, man,
anyway,
Rory.
great human being. Great human being.
Rory set it for a whole generation of selectors. You hear him just big up Tony Mataran. One of the selectors who he definitely paved the way for and myself and whole heap of others across the world, Mama Kelly. Not just in Jamaica, not just in London, not just in Canada, you know, not just in Japan, but worldwide, even Africa and all of those places. Everybody know who Rory Store Love is.
True.
Yeah, man.
So one of my sister is a member of the music fraternity. Real troublemaker, Rory. Everybody know you, Rory. Anyway, lovely talking to you again. Lovely being in your presence and all the joy and them something there.
Same here, Mama Kelly. You have a wonderful weekend, and to everybody in Jamaica, I want to just send out a prayer for the teachers and the students, and hopefully everything all right by Monday.
Same so. Love you, New York.